we have and who will win. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, All Things Keeper. It has been a while since I've recorded a long form video. I don't even remember the last time I did, but here we are. And it is the Saturday before Christmas Eve at 6 o'clock, and I was like, what the heck? Let's film a video. So here we are. So a few days ago, I asked you guys, I'm like, do you guys want a long form video recapping the Keeper of the Lost Cities characters tournament we had a few months ago, like 6 months ago? And you guys, the 7 of you that voted said yes. So here we are. Just because 7 of you make up my almost 500 subscribers, we are doing it. So here we go. 6 months ago, we had a tournament where I randomized Keeper of the Lost Cities characters and put them up against each other and had you guys vote about which one you liked the most. And so I have created a whole like piece of paper, literally like recapping the whole tournament. So we are going to go through it together and see who is our final winner. If you didn't vote through the polls, you can find out who won and who is your favorite character of the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. So super excited for today's video, and let's just get into it. So first things first, I have gotten more confident around myself and in front of the camera, so I'm going to be a little bit more weirder and more like comfortable in front of the camera than I have been in the past long form videos. So that is why I might seem a little weirder today and in upcoming videos, because I feel more confident in myself and I don't care what people think. If they think I'm weird, so be it. Anyways, onto the real video. Like I said before, I created the whole list about all the percentages and everyone. I'm just going to read through them and we're going to talk about it just a little bit. And yeah, so here we go. So round 1 had 16 rounds, and I had an online like wheel that had random characters, and I would spin it, and then whatever the wheel like chose is the first 2 characters it chose would be the ones that would fight against each other. So we started off round 1, battle 1, with Keith and Grizel. And so they're both really great characters, but it was like Grizel got destroyed. Keith got 97% and Grizel got 3. Like, I think this was, yeah, out of the whole tournament, this is like the first battle was the one where one of the characters got absolutely obliterated. So Keith got 97% and Grizel got 3. So that Keith moved on to round 2, obviously, and too bad, I'm sorry Grizel, but clearly you are no match against Keith. And I personally would have voted Keith too, even though they're both pretty awesome. Round 1, battle 2 was Biana versus Bronte. So Biana had 92% and then Bronte had 8%. I am not surprised. I mean, Bronte's like, he has a character arc. He had a good character arc over the book series, especially in book 9, but just Biana she's on top. Biana is S tier. I would have voted Biana personally too. So round 1, battle 3 was a lot closer. So this one was pretty close. Sophie and Sylvanie. So Sophie had 52% and Sylvanie had 48%. So these two were pretty close. It was kind of neck and neck, like the whole time, like the whole day I was like updating the poll and like watching you guys vote. And it was pretty close the whole time. One time it was tied and it was like neck and neck. But in the end, Sophie won, but barely. I don't know who I would have voted for, because we don't really, like, we see some of Sylvie, but not a lot. And she's this goofy alicorn. But Sophie's like the main character of the series. Like, you can't like, it's just, I don't know who I would have voted for, honestly. But Sophie won with 4%. So she moved on to round 2. Battle 4 was Glimmer / Rainy and Della. And this one was also close. This one had Rainy with 47% and then Della had 52%. So this one, I would have voted Della, only because we haven't seen that much of Rainy or Glimmer, or however you want to call her. We haven't seen that much of her. So I feel like if we had been able to see more of Glimmer and like see like what her personality was like more, like we know she like saved Keith and like helped Sophie escape from Gisela in book 8. But still, like, we didn't get that much of her. And Della, just like, she's been there the whole series. She's been helping Sophie and Fitz and Biana and like all their friends, and just she's been there. She's cool. She's a great mom. So Della won, but only barely, with 5%, 47 and 52%. So Della moved on to round 2. Then we had Lynn and Fenton, and this one honestly was kind of closer than I thought. Lynn had 76% and Fenton had 24%. So it's not like they were neck and neck, but it was still like closer than I thought. Like, it wasn't like Keith and Gazelle, which had 97 and 3. But Lynn had 76 and Fenton had 24. I would have voted Lynn. We haven't seen as much of Lynn as like Fenton. Like, she wasn't in the series until like book 4, but Fenton was there like since the beginning. So Lynn is just so soft. She's super sweet, but also tough. Fenton's just kind of like, he's like cool. He's like a good villain, but it's like Lynn has to win. So Lynn won with 76% over 24. Next, we had one of the two parents of the series. We had Adeline and Grady, and we all knew. Adeline had 74 and Grady had 26. Like, Adeline is she's just amazing. Like, she is also she's like Della. She's like such a cool mom, girl power. And like Grady, he like doesn't like Keith. Like, who doesn't like Keith? Like, what? We clearly saw that Keith won 97%. Like, who doesn't like Keith? And Adeline's just like, they're both great parents. But like Adeline, I mean, you guys thought she was better, so I would have voted Adeline too. So Adeline also moved on to round 2. Next, we have Tam and Jency. And this one was like, kind of like, there's a big difference between the two. So Tam had 85% and then Jency had 15%. So like a whole 70% difference. Jency, we saw like him in like book 1. And that was like it. We saw a little bit of him in book 9, with like him trying to figure out what his ability is. But Tam has just like been more like, he's been like in the series more, and like that's why he probably won. And then Tam's he's Bang's boy. I mean, Jency just hasn't been in the series that much. We haven't had like a chance to like really grasp his character that well. Like, I don't know, maybe in book 10, we'll get more of his character. But right now, Tam is he's up here and Jency's down here. So I love both characters, don't get me wrong though. Then we had Lady Gisela and Forkle. Lady Gisela had 34% and Forkle had 66%. Yeah, I mean, Lady Gisela's like, she had such like a plot twist with her ability in book 9, and just like how we thought she was good and then she got bad, and like Forkle was just kind of like there. Like, the twin twist was cool about it, but I feel like I would have voted Gisela, honestly, just because her villain arc was so cool to see, like the plot twist we had with her. And Forkle was just kind of like, the plot twist was like the twin, but then it was like resolved. Like, Gisela was like, she's so good at like making you feel like you care about her and like being on her side. But then like, Forkle is just like there. Like, don't get me wrong, Forkle is a cool character, but I feel like I would have personally voted Gisela. But alas, Forkle won with 66 and he moved on to round 2. Next, we had Sandor and Maruka. Sandor had 73% and Maruka had 27%. I mean, Maruka, she was big in book 9, like with her, I don't even know how to pronounce it, with the force field power. We're just gonna say that. But then Sandor, he's just like also been there the entire series. Like, if you have a character who like defends the main character, it's like you kind of have to go for them because he's like defending Sophie. And like Maruka, like, she has a really cool ability, don't get me wrong. She's a cool character, and it's like cool how she's Riley's cousin. But Sandor's just like, you gotta go for Sandor. So he won and moved on to round 2, and I would have voted for him too. Next, we had Juline with 14% and Ro with 86. yeah, I mean, I'm not totally surprised. We all knew Ro was gonna win. I mean, Ro is just like, ugh, her character is so funny. Definitely one of my favorites in the entire series. She's just so funny and she's just so chill and so like funny at the same time. And like, it's cool how like Julian is a part of the Black Swan. Like that was a really cool plot twist, don't get me wrong. But Ro is just like cooler. So Ro is moving on to round 2. Next, this one was our closest one by far. We had Stina and Alvar. Stina had 49% and Alvar had 51%. I'm telling you, when I was trying to make round 2, they were tied. They were 50 and 50. I had no idea what to do. But then as soon as I caught the moment, Alvar had 51 and Stina had 49. So I let Alvar move on to round 2. I don't know who, I probably would have voted for Stina just because like she's slowly become like an ally of Sophie's-ish. And Alvar's just kind of annoying. But like it was the closest one by far. It was neck and neck the entire time. 49 and 51, 50 and 50. Oh, it was so back and forth. So that was a fun one to kind of watch. Next, we had Alden and Dex. And this one also was like, one of the characters got destroyed. I bet you can guess who it was. Alden got 8% and Dex got 92. Whoever picked Alden over Dex, I'm sorry, but like, why? Like, I'm curious. Like, if you're watching this video, tell me, how come you picked Alden over Dex? Like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, how come? Alden is, I mean, no reason to worry. That's like basically the only thing he says. And then Dex is just like, he's Sophie's best friend. What has Alden done to Sophie to help her? Like, it doesn't matter. Dex won, 92% over 8. 15th battle was against Bo and Wiley. And this one was also one of the characters got destroyed, but not too badly-ish. Bo got 15 and Wiley got 85. Honestly, I'm kind of neutral about both of these characters. I probably would have gone with Wiley just because we've known him longer, but I'm kind of neutral about all these characters, so yeah. And then our final battle of round 1 was against Fitz and Kenrick. And Fitz had a measly 17% and Kenrick had 83. I mean, I love Kenrick. I was so sad when he died. Kenrick, 83% over 17. I mean, come on. So, see ya, Fitz, but he did not go on to round 2 and Kenrick did. So now we are on to round 2. So let's go. So now we are on round 2. And hopefully this will go a little faster since there's like less contestants. So now we only have 8 rounds. So let's get started. Our first round was Della and Wiley. And Della won with 71% and Wiley had 29%. Della, we've just seen more of her and just like, you know, it's hard to explain, but Della, I just like Della better, and looks like you guys too. So Della won with 71% and Wiley lost with only 29%. As a reminder, this is all randomized. So like I removed the past characters and then I have a new wheel with these characters. Now it's totally randomized, so just remember that. Next, round 2, battle 2, Ro and Sylvanie. Now, Ro still won with 72%. And Sylvanie with 28. So it wasn't like she totally demolished Sylvanie, but it was like still like she still won. But I don't know, this one would have been kind of hard because like Sylvanie's just like lovable, but Ro's just like Ro, you know? So Ro won this one, 72 to 28%. Our third battle had Keith and Marilla, and I'm surprised this one was as close as it was. Because this one was 74 and 26. Like all these past ones have been in the 70s and 20s. I think that's kind of funny. But 74 and 26%. So Keith had 74, obviously. And then Morel had 26. And I'm surprised this was as close as it was. Because like, Keith just has, he demolished Grizel. Like totally, 97%. But like Morella got 26% out of 100. So Keith still won, so he was moving on to round 3. Next we have, this one was close, pretty close. We had Tam and Edelyn, and Tam had 58% and Edelyn had 42%. I personally would have voted Edelyn because I just like her character better, and I think she's just such a good mom. And like Tam, don't get me wrong, Tam's also a great character, but I just kind of like Edelyn more in this case. But you guys like Tam better, and so Tam went on to round 3 while Edelyn stayed behind. At least she beat her husband though. Next for battle 5, we had Kenrick and Dex, the 2 redheads. And this one was like, Dex totally demolished again. He totally was like, Dex is just, he's up there, you know? So Dex got 87% and Kenrick got 13. And you know what's funny is that like all the comments that you guys wrote on that post were like, oh, I gotta vote for Kenrick. Kenrick's my guy, I'm voting for him. But he only got 13%, so I don't know. I love Kenrick, but I think Dex is just he's like more of the character that I like my character type, not like romantically type, but like just my character. Like I like how he was written. So I would have voted for Dex, and he won with 87%, and Kenrick won with 13. Battle 6, this one was also kind of, one of the characters got demolished and destroyed. Lynn had 83% and Alvar had 17%. So it was not close at all for this one. Then we move on to battle 7. Biana had 82% and she battled Forkle, who had 18. So even though Forkle won with over 30% last time, he lost by a lot this time. So Biana, like, she's just a better character. Like, I feel like Forkle has like no emotion. You know, he's just kind of like meh. Biana is just like, she's a fashion queen. She's such a good friend to Sophie. She's just so full of energy, and so she's so tough and she's so fierce. And just Biana, I love Biana. Like, Biana won with 82 and Forkle with 18. So, Biana got to move on to round 3. And let's see, did Sophie move on? Not me remembering, not me. Yeah, she did, barely though. So this next one is, so I was looking at this and I had Ro battle Sylvanie even though Sophie won. So when I was writing all this down, Sophie had 52% and Sylvanie had 48. But when round 2 was made, Sylvanie had more. Sophie did not move on and Sylvanie did move on. Or either that or I made a mistake. But neither of them move on, so it's fine. It doesn't really affect anything. Battle 8, the last one in round 2, was Kessler and Sandor. And Kessler had 35 and Sandor had 65. So these two were sort of close-ish. I don't really know who I would have voted for. Kessler's funny, but we don't really get much of him as much as we do like with Sandor. So Sandor won this one with 65%. And now we are on to round 3. So let's give it up for our remaining character. Cue applause effect. All right, so round 3, we start off with battle 1, Ro and Tam. This one was closer than all the other ones have been with Ro. Ro had 63 and Tam had 37. And you guys all love Tam. Like, I'm doing a whole series on you guys, on your name, in love with him. So you guys love Tam, but Ro won because Ro's just Ro. Like, do I have to explain myself? So Ro moved on to the semifinals. Battle 2 was Lynn and Keith. Keith had 70, Lynn had 30. So R.I.P. Lynn, but Keith is just on top on this one. So sorry Lynn, I would have voted Keith. Would I have? I think I would have. Anyway, so Keith gets to move on to the semifinals also. Battle 3 had Sandor and Della. I probably would have voted for Della, but alas, Della only had 26% and Sandor had 74. So Sandor gets to move on. Props to him because he's a cool character, but I would have voted for Della. And then Battle 4 has Dex and Biana. Let me know in the comments, do you guys ship Dex and Biana together? I see it. I don't know, do I ship Tiana or Dexiana? I don't know, but let me know down in the comments below if you ship them. So, Dex had 63 and Bianna had 37. So this one was a lot closer. Dex is Sophie's best friend, but Bianna's also one of Sophie's close friends. I don't know who I would have voted for. This one would have been a really hard one for me because I love both the characters. Probably Bianna though, because like, I love Bianna so much. But Bianna lost and Dex gets to move on to the semifinals. So now we are on the semifinals round, and it is round 4 out of 5. So our first battle is between Keith and Dex. Keith got 89% and Dex got 11%. So Dex was like up here. He was like in the 90s. He totally destroyed Alden. Alden got 8, Dex got 92, but now he's the one who got destroyed. He got 11%. And Keith got 89. It's a given. It's a given. Keith is just, he's more funny. I personally think he's more funny. Don't hate me. He's dating Sophie. So Keith finally happened. Yeah, just Dex, there was no hope for him. There was no hope for Dex. And then our last battle of the semifinals were the 2 bodyguards left, Sander and Ro. And this one was a weird one because Sander got 13 and then Ro got 88. So if you add those 2 together, that equals 101%, not 100. So I was kind of like 101%. According to my calculations, that doesn't add up. But it doesn't matter. If it was one or the other, Ro still destroyed Sander with 88 and 13%. So now the moment you've all been waiting for, unless you already know how this turns out, but still, the finals. We have Ro and Keith. Who will win? This one was not very close. This one was not very close. Ro ended up with a score of 24 and Keith ended up with a score of 76. Keith it was not close to that at all. Maybe it was in the beginning, but in the end, Keith was on top. He was the S tier. He was 76% and Ro was only 24. Not enough for her to take that #1 spot. And it probably serves Ro right because of all the bets she's made with Keith over the books, but Keith won with 76% and Ro with only 24. So, our winner of the Keeper of the Lost Cities Tournament 2023, I don't know, this will probably be the only one that I do, but the winner of the Keeper of the Lost Cities Bracket Tournament 2023 was Keith Sensen. So, round of applause for Keith. Woohoo, go Keith. And let's be honest, we all expected this. We all knew it was coming, whether we liked it or not. Keith is just better. He's just, his character, it's like he's messy, he's sweet, he's caring, he's funny, he's all the things. And like we all knew, whether we liked it or not, we all knew Keith was gonna win. So, haters gonna hate, but Keith won and nothing we can do about it. Keith won the Keeper of the Lost Cities tournament, and what a battle it was. So, all the characters, whether they lost in the first round or the semifinals, they all did amazing. And we all love the characters. We love all of them, most of them. But Keith was on top. Thank you so much for watching my first long form video in a very long time. I really appreciate it. If you stuck through the end, let me know down below because I really appreciate it. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you know every time I post. And if you enjoyed the video, like it and share it with your friends and see who they would have voted. Let me know down below if you think there should have been a different winner. And I thank you all who participated. I really appreciate it. You made it a fun thing for me to interact with you guys so I could see what you guys liked. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!